information, interviews, in-depth weather, and more. It's Terry Henne and his Farm Show on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com.
A mostly sunny good morning to you. I hope your day is going well for you, wherever you might be. Terry Henne here at Radio Center, along with Matthew Lester and Lake and Dew Russell, looking at a beautiful sunny day today. Very nice day yesterday. And as we moved into the evening hours, things turned out to be pretty pleasant. Not all that bad as far as humidity or anything like that goes. Today, a little bit more in the way of humid. We're going to be looking at a couple of factors going on as far as our weather goes. First of all, a frontal system that's along the East Coast, not affecting us at all now, but off to the East Coast, tremendous amount of rain in a very short period of time. As a result, because of the passage of that front, the Tigers are playing 2 today. They were rained out yesterday. Actually, they were flooded out yesterday. Philadelphia, a number of other big cities, flash flood was in effect. The highway I-95 was a real mess in a lot of areas from the Carolinas all the way up into and around Pennsylvania, New York City, and approaching the New England coast. The frontal system that we're going to be keeping an eye on is eventually going to be working its way toward us. It's going to take a couple of days to get here. But right now, the high pressure system over Oklahoma and another over southern Canada is what's giving us some pretty nice temperatures and a little bit in the way of sunshine as well. Matthew, what do you have right now on the thermometer?
Currently, over at the airport, it's sunny at 81. Over in Midland, it's sunny at 82. Here, Radio Center, it's sunny at 81. We have west winds at 12 miles per hour, and our pressure's at 29.95, and it's falling.
86 is going to be our projected high as we go through the day. Clouds will increase a little bit later on this afternoon, kind of like what they did yesterday. The only difference is some of these clouds will possibly give us a sprinkle or maybe a scattered shower, especially east of I-75 over in Michigan's Thumb. As we go into the evening hours, partly cloudy skies, weak front will be moving through, so that's probably why we'll see an increase in the clouds, and again, that chance of some precipitation. But that front is a fairly short one, and it only will be crossing northern sections of the lower peninsula and across Michigan's Thumb. So that's why we're going to be looking at the possibility of shower activity in those areas of the lower peninsula. After a high of 86, we'll drop down to 63. Sun will set this evening at 9:21, rise tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. We should see a sunrise, maybe a spotty cloud here and there, but that's going to be about it. 85 for a high. There will be a chance again later in the day tomorrow, early tomorrow evening, of a shower, but the best chance of that pop-up shower activity, and it will be pop-up, will be in the southern third of the lower peninsula later in the day tomorrow and tomorrow night. High pressure over Lake Superior is going to keep a lot of the precipitation well to the south. After a low of 59, because of that high over Lake Superior, we'll move up to 87 for a high on Friday with a mix of sun and clouds. Another high-pressure system, this one moving out of the southern plains, is going to be taking up residence over Kentucky, and that is going to usher in some much warmer and humid air. So as we get into the weekend, Saturday is going to be a cooker. We're looking for a high temperature of 92 with high humidity, partly cloudy skies. I don't think we're going to see any precipitation. Mid-70s for a low on Saturday night, so it is going to be pretty warm. You're going to hear the corn grow on Saturday night. And then during the day on Sunday, once again, partly cloudy skies, 92 for a high on Sunday. There will be a chance of some showers late in the day and the evening on Sunday. Long range, take us all the way through the 15th of the month. Temperatures averaging at or slightly above normal. Precipitation values about the same, at or slightly above normal. Record high in the state, incidentally, is 100. That was set back in 1931. And just for a little bit of background information, we had 19 record high temperatures in the Great Lakes Bay area in the 1930s. We had 19 days of record high temperatures, and we had 7 straight days of high temperature records from the 8th of July to the 14th of July, and that was set back in 1936. Pretty warm decade. More on the weather as we go through the broadcast. Busy day today. Matthew, who do we have on deck?
Coming up next, we have Cody Harris from Star of the West, and we also have Doug Klein from Oppenheimer.
But before we get to them, we want to remind you the weather forecast brought to you by the folks at Nutrien Ag Solutions.
Nutrien Ag Solutions has the local expertise to recommend the corn, soybean, and other seed products that are the best fit for your field. Plus, unparalleled agronomic support with products and services to unlock yield potential and improve crop performance from planting to harvest. Ask about our financing options to help you get more from every acre and lead the field. Visit your local Nutrien Ag Solutions branch or go to nutrienagsolutions.com.
Say, do you want to unlock the secret to higher yields? If you're applying dry fertilizer, the key to better yield potential is Titan XC. Titan XC is a fertilizer biocatalyst that unlocks and releases the bound-up nutrients in granular fertilizer, promoting better root uptake and plant growth. Drive performance this season and beyond. Release more nutrition. Expect better results with Titan XC. For more information, visit lpi.ag/unlock or contact your Nutrien Ag Solutions crop consultant today. The folks at Steiner Tractor want to remind you that coming up not this weekend, but next weekend, July the 11th, 12th, and 13th, the Midland Antique Engine Annual Show. That'll be held at 3226 South Meridian Road in the Merrill area. This event's been going on for several years, and one of the primary sponsors and drivers of that has always been, and will continue to be, Steiner Tractor. Remember, new parts for old tractors made easy. 800-234-3280 or go to steinertractor.com. And we'll be broadcasting live on Friday the 11th from the festival grounds, and our broadcast will be brought to you by the folks at Steiner Tractor. Want to mention to you also very quickly that my good friends at RoofMax are ready to take care of whatever you need when it comes to your roof. All you got to do is call Ben. Just give him a call at 989-859-6751 if you're thinking about or you're a little concerned about your roof. Get a free roof assessment. That's what I did. And Ben told me all the things that I should be aware of with my roof. I didn't think it was really aging all that long until I took a look and saw how long ago it was that I had a new roof put on. Well, I bought myself several years, by having my roof treated by the RoofMax method. Ben did it. His group did a great job. And of course, it's all about maintaining your equipment. A roof needs maintenance as well, and RoofMax delivers, and especially Ben. AskBenHow.com. That's how you check them out online. Or as I said before, give him a call at 989-859-6751. Check them out. Little care today is going to save you a whole lot tomorrow. We say good morning to Cody Harris over at Star of the West. And Cody, last time I looked, looks like the soybeans were trying to redeem themselves just a little bit.
Yeah, we definitely got a decent midday or midweek report here today, Terry. You're actually kind of flipped. A little bit ago, all commodities are now in the green. So I got a couple of factors that might be playing into that, but it's not very often where I get to say everything's moving in the right direction. I can tell you that.
I guess not. What are the factors, Cody?
Well, one of the key things here this morning is that with the Senate giving approval to the spending bill earlier this week, it had biodiesel. In addition to that, it had some carbon credits for domestic feedstock, which I think is where you're seeing soybeans get a little bump here. That's also pulling up corn as well. In addition to that, in Argentina, the farmers down there had a tax increase that was effective yesterday, July 1st. So that put a little pressure on the market as they were really selling their crops, both beans and corn, kind of prior to, I think they had a record month as far as shipping out of Argentina in June. I think it was 23.5 million metric tons. So with that tax going into effect yesterday, I think that's putting their crops a little bit more competitive with ours across the board, especially in corn and soybeans. So that's giving the market a little bump. And then kind of in the wheat side of things, I think active harvest, we're watching a little bit of moisture maybe come across the country, getting the wheat market maybe a little interesting, but we're just on the front end of that harvest here. And like I said, we haven't even got started on our neck of the woods, but that market's just getting a little bit more activity and it's moving in a bullish direction, definitely being pulled by soybeans.
So right now on the board, what do you have, Cody?
Yeah, right now I got cash and new crop wheat. That's up 5 at the moment, 5.39 on the white, 4.59 on the red. Cash corn's up 2 at 3.53. New crop corn up 2 at 3.59. And then looking over at soybeans, cash soybeans are up 9 at 9.56, and new crop soybeans are also up 9 at 9.56.
You have a great holiday, Cody. We'll talk to you again next week.
Thank you. You as well.
Cody Harris over at Star of the West. A little bit more in depth. Doug Klein from Oppenheimer joining us right now. The market report brought to you by Thumb Bank. You know, they've got 13 locations throughout the Thumb and the Great Lakes Bay area, including that new location in Freeland. Farming today, many challenges, and Thumb Bank does keep up with those changes as well as industry trends and relates it all to the changes in your operation. Since 1895, they've been working with agriculture, and they continue today. Thumb Bank, where relationships are built on trust. Market report also brought to you by the folks at Krijak's House Family Restaurant. Got an event coming up and you need to supply the food? Not a problem. 989-894-5531. They'll do it up for you. All you got to do is tell them what you want. And as I've said before, you will be a hero at your event. Great place to dine in as well. Krijak's House, corner of Cass and Michigan on Bay City's south side. We say good morning to Doug Klein. Doug, what's going on today?
Well, stock market's okay today. Tesla had their earnings and not so good, but their stock is up a little bit. Rivian, their competitor, had their earnings and they were not so good and their stock is down. So I guess it depends on who you are in that business. But Dante declared bankruptcy. So that was the canned food business that has been around for, say, 140 years or so. And that does not include the fresh Del Monte. That's the fresh food business that did not declare bankruptcy. So who knows? But as we've been talking about, the food business is tough right now. The private sector jobs came in negative 33,000. They were expecting a positive 100,000. So I'm going to go with the same guys that made that prognostication are the ones that are deciding how much corn is grown in the field and how much soybeans from day to day they can miss by 100% or so, or 300% in this case. And Amazon has now 1 million robots working for them. So we can continue to export illegals because we don't need them. We got robots.
I was going to say, I heard something about they've actually got almost as many robots working as they do humans.
That's a million.
Really?
They just cleared 1 million robots. Yep.
Wow. Oh. Well, maybe some of these guys with the severance money, maybe they can get Del Monte out of bankruptcy.
Yeah, I think there's some bankers that already have their greedy little paws in on that one.
Oh, boy.
That's another world we don't need to talk about. So platinum's having a good day, $60 higher. Copper's having a really good day, 519.5. So that's up almost a dime. That's pretty awesome. So anyway, here's your numbers. July corn is 420, unchanged. December corn 423 3/4, up 1 3/4. The July soybeans 1036, up 11 1/4. November soybeans 1136, also up 8 3/4. The July wheat is 544 3/4, up 7 1/2, and December wheat 573, up 3 3/4. Crude oil is steady, 65.88, up 43 cents. Heating oil is 237, up 4 1/4 cents. Gasoline is 209 1/4, down 0.7 of a penny. Natural gas is 349.5, up a nickel. Over to currencies, Canadian dollar. U.S. dollar buys $1.3632 Canadian. That's down 10 ticks. The dollar buys 143.85 yen, up 42 ticks. The euro is at 117.82, down 23 ticks. And the dollar's at 96.94. That's up 12 ticks. And I heard a report also that the dollar has had its worst start of the year. I'm going to go with the first 2 quarters in decades. That has come down tremendously. And so, we feel that we have made so much money in the stock market, right? Head for the year. but in truth, it's your dollar getting smashed more than anything. But anyway, gold is at 33.34.20, down $2.50. Silver's 36.34, up 26 cents. Platinum's 1406.70, up $60.80, and copper's at 519.35, up 9.4 cents.
All righty. Doug, you have a good one. Thank you.
Thank you. All right.
Doug Klein over at Oppenheimer. Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at Legendary Tree Care. You need a tree removed? What about some trimming? Legendary Tree Care will do it because no job is too big or too small. They are fully licensed and insured, and they do specialize in the big projects. LegendaryTreeCare.com or like them on Facebook. They're there when you need them. As I said before, we got a busy day on deck. Who do we have right now?
Up next, we have Cameron Victor from Livestock Insurance Specialist Greenstone Farm Credit Services.
We'll be talking to Cameron in just a moment, and coming up a little bit later on, Lakin, we're going to have a chance to talk about crop progress, huh?
Yes, we will. The USD progress report came out with the planted acreage.
And we'll have a chance to talk to Joe Kramer with Michigan Bean.
Yes,
all
we
of
will.
that coming up. All of that, but first this.
It happens after every commercial building gets built.
That looks great, boys. Wow, what a change. The owners are going to be thrilled.
Even after cleaning out the garage or shed. That leftover scrap metal can be a burden, but it doesn't have to be, and it can make you some cash. Rifkin Scrap Iron and Metal is a metal recycling company that'll pay you cash and recycle your metal for the future. Rifkin Scrap Iron and Metal also makes it easy. We can provide containers for industrial manufacturing facilities and small specialty shops for moving and storing scrap metals. Looking to scrap a vehicle? We got you. Rifkin Scrap Iron and Metal in Saginaw, just north of the Dow Event Center. Also located in West Branch, 1 mile off I-75 and M76. Schedule a car pickup or check metal prices now at rifkin-co.com. Rifkin Scrap Iron and Metal, recycling today for tomorrow.
Friday, bonus pricing has been extended at Rifkin Steel.
Farm Services brought to you today by the folks at Quality Roasting of Reese, offering competitive, consistent prices for your soybeans. Just give them a call for a quote today. Joining me now is Cameron Victor, who's livestock insurance specialist with Greenstone Farm Credit. Cameron, for the past couple of weeks, we've been talking about the livestock risk protection program that is being offered, and I understand now that program is live.
Yesterday was the launch of the program. We saw our first rates launched for the unborn calf that covers those day-old beef on dairy crosses. Unfortunately, we didn't see the coal cow generate due to a technical issue, but we're hoping to see those out today.
As far as product rates are concerned, are they available right now?
So they did close this morning at 9:25 in the morning, but they'll be available again this afternoon. And when we look at some of the rates that came out to cover those day-old beef on dairy crosses, we saw anywhere between $1,100 to $1,300 insurable values per head yesterday on those calves.
So what are the benefits of these additional products?
Right now, we're able to insure these calves and these coal cows at market value for up to a year into the future. We saw a lot of buzz around that April-May contract here for the day-old calves, locking in a $1,300 calf for $52 a head. And if the price drops below that on the CME, we're going to go ahead and get our producers a payment for that financial loss. If prices continue to go higher, producers get to take benefit of those higher prices on the cash market.
Now, Cameron, I think some of our producers would probably like to learn a little bit more about some of these products.
Yeah, if anyone wants to reach out, they can visit our website, greenstonefcs.com, or they can call us at 800-444-3276.
And it's not necessarily something that is easy to digest just over the phone or whatever. Probably a good idea to do the research and read it for yourself. And then if they need an interpretation, you're available, right?
Absolutely. And we go statewide. We'll come out to the farm, sit down, and have a conversation if we need that step as well.
Cameron Victor, thank you so much. We really appreciate it. We'll talk to you again next week, okay?
Yep. You enjoy the holiday weekend, Terry.
I will. You too. Cameron Victor with Greenstone Farm Credit. Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at Freeland Bean and Grain. You know, they can take care of business for you. You got any questions? Might be a really good idea to get in contact with them because serving you is their business. And of course, their name says Freeland Bean. We'll be talking to Joe Kramer in just a moment or two about the latest as far as crop planting and that sort of stuff with the dry beans. Serving you is their business. They've been doing it since 1983, Freeland Bean and Grain. On the line with me right now, who do we have?
Up next, we have Scott Dumas from Nutrien Ag.
Scott, good morning. How are you this morning?
Good, Terry. How are you?
Hey, not too
good,
bad.
Terry, how are you?
Hey, fantastic. Scott, as far as the crop goes out there, and again, I emphasize this because I was so kind of surprised by it. We're pretty dry out there, and we've been dry for quite a while. The folks keep telling us that we're in a drought area.
So that varies, I would say, almost mile by mile. So there's some areas that continue to get rain in the area, the Thumb area, Saginaw Valley, and then there's some that aren't getting as much moisture, and they are definitely, I would call it, in a slight drought.
I was kind of surprised when I saw some of the precipitation records over the past couple, 3 days. You mentioned the Thumb. There were some reports that I saw well over an inch and a half of rain.
Yeah, I was talking to some guys from Huron County, and they said they had over 2 inches of rain. But like I said, that could vary from mile to mile. The next mile might not get anything, or just a couple tenths to half an inch. But there were definitely some over 1 inch rains this week across the Thumb.
Now the corn has really been growing. The soybeans are looking great. The dry beans, boy, they just popped up out of nowhere. What are you advising our growers right now, Scott?
Stay on top of weed control. Make sure that you or whoever you're working with are scouting your fields. And the reason is because of weed control, herbicide resistant weeds out there. You want to stay on top of those and not let them get out of control and go to seed and just make a bigger problem for years to come. So stay on top of that.
Yeah, understand. We have had some issues with a few of the weeds that seem to be resistant.
Yeah, there's water hemp. And mare's tail, ALS resistant mare's tail, and it doesn't like Roundup or glyphosate sometime as well. So it's all out there.
It's all out there. Scott, you take care. Have a great 4th of July holiday. We'll talk to you folks next week again.
All right. Thanks. You too, Terry.
You betcha. Scott Dumas with Nutrien Ag. We're going to take a quick break, and then we'll be joined by Joe Kramer. Whether you're managing acres of crops or a backyard garden bed, one thing's true for every grower. Healthy plants start with healthy soil. At Dairy Dew, we make it easy to build soil health with products that work above and below the surface. Our blends include powerful ingredients like humic and fulvic acids, natural compounds that help unlock nutrients, boost root growth, and feed the biology in your soil. From Bloom Blaster and Veggie Blaster for your flowers and veggies to Safe Green Lawn for a yard that's safe for the whole family, we've got the tools to help you grow naturally and grow better. Whether you're planting a row or an acre, trust Dairy Dew to give your soil the good stuff it needs to thrive, season after season. Visit dairydew.com or stop by Morgan Composting.
Healthy plants come from healthy soil. Healthy soil comes from Dairy Dew.
Lake and Dew Russell, understand we've got some numbers that have just been released.
We do. The USDA released its 2025 planted acreage report estimating 83.4 million acres of soybeans planted in the U.S. this year, down 4% from last year. Corn planted estimated 95.2 million acres for 2025, up 5% from last year. And tomorrow we'll talk more about the wheat report when we hear from Dennis Pennington.
Yeah, right now let's check in on the dry beans. Kind of curious, Lakin, what Joe Kramer has to say. Joe Kramer with the Michigan Bean Commission, what do you think?
Hi, Terry. Well, crop reports sort of, stretched out some of the numbers that we were anticipating when you roll the black bean numbers forward to a year from now, it looks like we've got a big chunk of the following year's crop already grown in the field. So kind of a bearish report for blacks and pintos. Navy beans and the other classes, looks like we've planted about enough across the U.S. to take care of demand. So good and bad in the report. Not everybody believes the report, which is usually the case anyway. So lots of debating to do between now and harvest.
When we have a chance next week, if you're available, Joe, want to talk a little bit more about the dry beans and what's going on across the world, because I know there's a lot of things changing there.
Sure is. We're keeping a close eye on Argentina that's wrapping up their harvest. We got some water stuff going on in Mexico, and our friends in North Dakota and Minnesota haven't had a perfect week either. So lots to talk about.
I guess so. Joe, happy 4th of July. You take care. Enjoy the fireworks, okay?
Thanks, Terry. You too.
I will. Joe Kramer with the Michigan Bean Commission. Little work to be done in the backyard with the dry weather and the hot weather. We got Chuck Serminski from Maple Hill Nursery in Midland right now. And Chuck, we want these flowers to keep going.
Yeah, we worked so hard the last month or two getting them planted. We want to enjoy them this summer, so they need a little food right now. And Bloom Blaster, which is a liquid plant food made by the folks at Dairy Do, will do just what you need as far as giving them a little boost right now. This fertilizer is going to promote vibrant blooms and healthier plants that are better able to resist the stress of summer heat that we've got coming up, drought and pests. It's made with phosphorus, kelp, and fulvic blaster. It's going to increase the vibrancy of the blooms, improve stress and immune response. It's also going to accelerate the growth in the nutrient uptake. So all these things are beneficial for flowers, so they look beautiful this summer.
And you've got it right there at the nursery.
We sure do. It's available in either gallons, and I also have the 32-ounce ready-to-use hose-on sprayer, and real easy to apply. You're going to want to wait until it's a little cooler and the sun's not out. You're going to use it for about 3 to 5 seconds, and it really produces some good results.
Chuck Serminski, thank you so much. Have a happy 4th.
You too.
Thank you. Chuck Serminski. We now conclude our farm program with the playing of our national anthem, brought to you by Euclid Avenue Coin in Bay City.
Broadcasting from the Stormmaster Exterior Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton,